Today we're going to talk about how to write an inequality based off of a word problem. So this word problem I took off of our activity from yesterday, and it says that you have $14 in your pocket. A taxi ride has a ride fee of $5 plus an additional fee of 60 cents per mile. What is the most miles you can ride in the taxi without using all of your money? Mileage is rounded up if you stop before a complete mile. So when I read this, first of all, I had to think about what this problem was about. So if I want to repeat and think about it in my own words, this problem is about a taxi ride and that I only have $14 to spend. So I know that I need to spend $14 or less. Part A says define the variable. So now I need to go back and think about what's changing because the variable is the thing that changes. So what is it in my problem that's changing each time? Is my $14 changing? No, that stays the same. Is the ride fee of $5 changing? No, that's no matter what, no matter how far I go, if I get into the taxi, I have to pay $5. And now I see it says plus an additional fee of 60 cents per mile. So there's that keyword of per that kind of shows me that for every mile, I'm going to increase by 60 cents. So that's the thing that changes. So I'm going to write my variable as number of miles. So number of miles. So now I have to figure out what my equation is going to be. So I know that normally we write them as like y equals mx plus b, or I can think of it as like blank x plus blank, and then some sort of inequality sign, and then another blank, right? I have three numbers in three places. So I know the thing that changes is the x value. So that's the number that I'm going to put in that box. So the thing that was changing was this 60 cents per mile. So 60 cents is going to go here. And now I'm thinking about the fact that I also have this $5 fee. So $5 fee is a constant or a thing that doesn't change. So my constant of $5 goes here. So 60 cents per mile plus $5 fee. And now I need to figure out what symbol goes here for my $14 in my pocket. So if I come back up to the question said, what is the most miles you can ride in the taxi without using all of your money? So I don't want to use all $14. I want to use less than $14. So less than 14. Okay, so just so you can see it a little bit clearer, 0.60 plus 5 is less than 14. So the last thing says to solve. So I want to know how many miles is it? So if I solve this, I can just solve like we're used to solving. Subtract 5 from both sides to move it over. Mhm. Nope, that's not what I want. And then I divide by 60 cents. And I get 15 miles. So I want to make sure I write my sentence because I don't really know what it means when it says x is less than 15. But think back to our variable says number of miles. So I can have less than 15 miles. And that answers my problem. So now what I want us to try today is going backwards. So I have an inequality and I want to come up with a word problem. So this is where your creativity comes in. You can write about cereal, you can write about Animal Crossing, you can write about whatever you wanted to do. So I just look at this inequality right now, and I see that I have a negative slope. So that means I'm taking something away. Remember that this is the constant, and this is the thing that changes. So remember that we also talked about the constant as being the start. And then this is my total or my final answer. So I'm thinking about maybe I'm starting with 26 of something and it looks like I'm taking 4 of something away. I need to come up with some sort of clever idea. So I know I was just baking some cookies. So maybe I'm going to do this problem about cookies. So we can say Mrs. Fodio has 26 cookies because that's my start and gives 4 to each student. She wants to keep, that's my end amount. And now I got to think about what this inequality symbol means. I can go back and look at my organizer and figure out I'm going to use the word at least 6 cookies. And now I want to ask the question, how many, what was my variable? Students does she give cookies to? And so we want to make sure we define our variable. So was X the number of cookies or was X the number of people? So if I go back and I read this, I see each student. So X is the number of students. Oops. And now if I want to, I can also go back and solve. Gotta move the constant. Negative 4x is greater than or equal to negative 20 divided by negative 4. And I gotta flip this because I'm dividing by a negative sign. So I get x is less than or equal to 5. So no more than 5. Make sure it looks like a 5. All right, now it's your turn.